The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Virtuosos podcast. I know I'm doing good. I know I'm happy. I know I'm excited. I'm ready to talk about this boys season premiere. Me, Damon, and Damien have been hyping it up for the last month and a half, maybe even 2 months now. Ever since about Invincible ended, we've been ready to get into this, and what a premiere it was in general. I want to start with you, Damien, because you hit it right on the head. A lot of this stuff you pretty much call. I'm pretty sure you're a producer for the show at this point.
I'm executive
producer. So I mean, we talk about themes, we talk about lore. We like that's just what we do. We talk about everything. Try to hit everything on the head. For you, Dame, what's the theme of this season, man?
Oh, it's definitely past trauma. Like pretty easily. Like every one of these characters has PTSD about something. Mm-hmm. I didn't really catch it at first. I kind of thought it was just kind of like they don't throw shit right in your face at first. I thought it was
character specific.
Yeah, like I thought it was definitely just gonna be like certain storylines. Like I thought for sure that the season was gonna be just fully political, which because we talked about that, especially with the real life election coming up. Like I thought that's just what they were going for, and then as the slowly progresses, honestly, the political stuff is kind of minor.
It's almost
definitely. I'd probably say
like
secondary to
secondary.
Yeah, like, for what it is. And obviously you start off like the first character you really see dealing with it is obviously Butcher. He knows he's going to die. You clearly is a character change automatically knowing now that he's gotten basically only 6 months left to live.
Yep.
Literally he basically blows the mission off of that alone. Trying to talk to Ryan. Homelander's PTSD is definitely interesting because we don't know too much about him. Like we don't get his origin ever.
Never.
I know in the Boys Diabolical, which is like the animated show they put out, like you see like his first mission for Vought. You get flashbacks of him as a kid here and there, but they never really go into full detail. The most we know about him is that Soldier Boy is his dad. Huey's trauma dealing with his mother.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about that later about what we think. Frenchie being, he's a murderer.
Yeah, he's haunted.
Yeah, he's a murderer at the end of the day, Kimiko dealing with the terrorist organization that created her.
Yep.
And, how she leaving the only one of the boys going to a therapist.
Yeah.
And even therapy's not helping
and
her.
And even that didn't do nothing for her.
I think the only one we really didn't see deal with, like, trauma, like, on a higher note is, like, Mother's Milk.
Yeah.
They don't really. He seems kind of to be in a good position, even though his leadership ability is pretty questionable. To say the least.
Terrible.
Even Starlight's dealing with one. I think Starlight's is probably one of the more interesting ones because we never see anything negative about Starlight the entire show. She is literally propped up as like this like all good character.
Yeah,
she's
like
never
she
done
said,
anything wrong.
She's
literally the perfect character.
Kind of
and then to find out now that she's actually was a horrible person, which I mean, at the end of the day, she was just a kid.
Yeah.
Kids are horrible people at the end of the day. But yeah, I like this theme. I think it's something that's very easy to relate to. I think everybody's got some type of trauma that they have that they can't let go of and stuff like that lingers with them. So to see it happen with that, and then see it especially happen, like you said, them doing it with Homelander is the most interesting one to me. To have this literally immortal, but not immortal. He ages, but there's basically a damn near invincible character who's the strongest one in this universe, and he still can't escape his trauma for as strong as he is. It's just really cool. And then, like I said, the fact that he's scared of aging. Of all the characters in this show, he's the one that's scared of getting old. It's this interesting path to take for this guy to see like how he's literally crumbling at every single step now.
Yep. I think it's good to note that before we get into like the trauma stuff, this isn't to redeem Homelander.
No, absolutely.
This is to just show that he's at a stage where
he's vulnerable.
He's vulnerable. Literally, he's vulnerable. He's weaker in terms of how much he can control himself. He can't control himself. We start to see more public killings instead of the hiding behind. Even just killing soups. Like he's going after humans now. Even intentionally, unintentionally, we'll talk about it a little bit more. But for you, Damon, what do you think it would take for some of these characters to get past this trauma?
Well, I look at Homelander. Number one, he used to hide behind Vought for a lot of shit. They used to cover up a lot for him. He's not even asking them to do that for him no more. Like, he's losing his give a fuck. You know what I mean? He's losing. He really don't care. A-Train, you know, I think that scene with his nephews and his brother, it's kind of like puts a nail in the coffin. Like, okay, what the fuck am I really here for? Like,
what good am I if I'm
I'm
leaving lying to my family?
That's what I'm saying. I can't even impress my nephews, and you know how much they looked up to him, and all of it was basically fake.
Quickest man in the world. He's never had a real save.
Yep, not had a real save. You know, you look at Huey, which you know we was gonna talk about his mom later, but you know, he feels bad. Basically, he was a regular ass motherfucker, and he got shot into the boys, and you know, kind of left his dad in the backfield. If you want to say, didn't really have time for family, didn't really look for answers. Starlight, I can't wait to see this Firecracker thing, or what's her name? Firecracker.
I think it is Firecracker.
Firecracker. Yeah. Because
her.
That's just ass, but you know,
there's got to be more to it than that.
There got to be way more to it, man. Way more to it. But I'm excited to see where all these storylines head. Probably the one I'm most interested in. You know, because you know, if now that we got season 5 confirmed, we know Homelander's probably gonna make it out this season. I want to see how A-Train's story end. You know, I ain't wishing death on no character, but it's only so much you're going to help the boys out. There's only so much the boys are going to get away with Mother Milk being a bad leader and A-Train helping them.
Something's got to give.
Something got to give. You know what I mean? Something got to give, bro. And then now Butcher and Ryan are getting closer and Homelander is sensing it. So I definitely expect A-Train's story to come to an end. I'm just excited to see how it turns out. I want to also see how Mother Milk leadership, how close it's going to get. Like, how far are they going to go before they switch leadership up?
Yeah,
because
who is gonna be? Do they bring back Butcher? Or is Butcher already gonna be? You know what? I got my own thing going on. It doesn't seem that he's pushing so much for it yet. But you know, he talked to what's his name?
Kessler.
Yeah, he talked to Kessler, and maybe Kessler got some ties to some people that could help Butcher out. But we'll see because you know he is.
That's
dying.
The vibe I got.
But Kessler trying to kidnap Ryan was a little bit like. I mean, like Butcher's like he'll do anything, but that was a little bit too much for him, and it already is showing that Kessler might be overstepping.
That's why I felt like it was so obvious, anyways. Where he was like, where Butcher was like, well, we know the rules. Like, we have to just capture him. You can't turn him against Homelander or like turn him into a weapon.
Yeah.
The U.S. government's not going to listen to that. That's literally their only weapon against Homelander. At this point, that they know fully about. So why they're not going to listen to you and be like, oh, we're just going to let this kid who is the only natural born soup in history not use his powers and not be trained as a weapon. Like that was very obviously never going to work. Like it was cool to see Butcher decide that he cared about Ryan enough to where he didn't give him the cookie to knock him out and to take him. But at the end of the day, you couldn't. Why are you trusting a CIA agent? Yeah, this is very clearly what they were going to do this whole time.
I thought that was pretty interesting, that interaction. Clearly gonna play into obviously the finale, with how Kessler, what lengths Kessler will go being a CIA agent, and his ties with Butcher, and then Butcher's getting booted from the boys, which was it got speed ran a little bit. I thought it was gonna milk out a little bit more, but it happened so fast. I was like, well,
I think it makes a lot of sense though, man, because like he really has done nothing but fuck up.
Yeah.
At every single turn. I mean, you know, like he could say all he wants about how he'd never put anybody in danger, but he's done it multiple times where he's put people in harm's way to make sure he could get Homelander. He could get what he thinks is the end result for it. Even if he says he cares about Huey or anybody else, you know, like I'm sure he does. But he has done everything wrong. Like that's why, like, I don't think why people should be mad that Mother's Milk told him no, he wouldn't help him. Yeah. Like at the end of the day, Mother's Milk obviously is one of his closest friends, and he knows that he just messes up everything.
And the fact that he is dying is another reason why he can't help him, because you're going to die.
Like you're on your way out.
So your care / sympathy for anybody else kind of goes out the window because you know that you're sacrificing basically yourself.
Exactly.
So I did like that. I thought that was a pretty good dynamic. But to continue back what we first said, Homelander. I mean, best character in the show. You know, his in terms of arc, in terms of screen time, in terms of, you know, look, feel, dialogue, aura, whatever the case may be. We start off the first time we see Homelander. we think he's in the sun. We think he all in his glory. The dude's using the middle urinal.
Yeah.
It's Homelander. Why wouldn't he only do in the bathroom? Use the middle urinal. I was like, this dude's a fucking clown. But we start with him on trial and whatnot. That gets solved pretty quick. But the biggest story that we wanted to talk about with him was basically how he is kind of losing it.
Yeah.
He is kind of losing it. He's at that point where, New Rockstar stuff about he's tired. I think he's lost his mind, but he doesn't know how to go about it. And I think the biggest example of that was the Vault on Ice. The Vault on Ice was pretty interesting. They already said it didn't make sense that they were doing it. It was weird to put the Christ back into Christmas.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
I thought it was funny.
Pretty funny, but also funny. Just in general, just one of those things, the political side of it that you're trying to relate to real life.
Said you can't say Merry Christmas anymore. You gotta say Happy Holidays.
Yeah. I just liked a lot about this Vault on Ice scene, mainly because you see how chilling it gets. It gets real really fast. So we already passed the point where like Homelander's he's already done damage already this season. It wasn't like he's done anything perfect. He killed the 3 guys and tried to frame the Starfighters or whatever.
He killed the one girl in Vault office. Like
yeah. So
he
he got the Deep in Noir to kill the 3. A-Train doesn't swing his bat, but he stops.
But he stops dude from leaving.
Yeah, and then we say he tried to get the mole to confess.
Who was clearly not the mole.
Who wasn't the mole, obviously, because why would she be? The first person you interrogate is not going to be the mole, and she shoots him. Or he shoots her with his eyes. So it already shows that Homelander is at this point where he's losing it.
Yeah.
He's lasering anybody, and even all the way towards the last episode, just talking about Homelander in specific, you could tell he almost wanted to laser Ryan. You can hear his head ringing, and he's like, I can't do it, but like I really want to laser this kid because he's pissing me off. He's not realizing that I'm a good father. He thinks he's a good father because he's in a bubble. It's only him and Ryan. Every time him and Ryan are interacting, it's only him and Ryan. It's not him and Ryan and other family members, obviously, because he doesn't have any family. So it is tough to see, Ryan be put in that situation, but him being so, young and vulnerable to any adult because he's never had any stableness in his life. So the fact that he's being pulled with all these ways just shows that Homelander is really just waiting on Ryan to turn at this point. And that's as sad as it gets because he keeps that shrine of the people that turned on him that he loved or trusted, more or less, I would say. I don't think he loved Noir, but he definitely trusted him. It was his right-hand
best friend, basically.
Yeah, his right-hand man. So with that being said, Damon, I'll start with you. Where do we think this red door is leading to? Like, obviously, it's a lot of bad things that happen to Homelander, but obviously he's not a redeemable character in any sense of the way, but what do we think is behind this red door?
I'll be honest, man. I think it's gonna start off. I think he'll go on a rampage the last 2 episodes. Y'all said in the chat about what's her name, Sage.
Yeah.
Sage kind of like it's a possibility she's trying to break the group within. If that's true, I think he's going off on. I think he's gonna kill Deep because Deep and Sage are now in a relationship or doing whatever.
Yeah.
You got A-Train he got to deal with. You got Ryan he got to deal with. Butcher. And you seen it in the first episode, like he wants to be challenged. He wants to be challenged. Yeah. This
until
like Victoria, he even argued with Victoria. Like he didn't give a fuck if Victoria was.
Yeah, him and Victoria have not had a positive interaction at all. And it seems like it's gonna come.
It's gonna come to an end. So he doesn't really have an ally that he can lean on in this episode. And he's Ryan is really his only like person he could probably manipulate and put in his corner, and Butcher's dying. So people's lying to him, people's just agreeing with him. He cut off Ashley, basically make Ashley the mascot of the fucking Vault. Like he really ain't got no allies, you know what I mean? So it's a possibility he probably turns to that's when the Gen V characters come in, he turn to them, last hope. But we looking at he probably gonna go on a rampage the last 2 episodes, man.
It's gonna be interesting for him, mainly because like you said, like Damien said, we have no origin of Homelander. But the origin for any superhero ever comes from being tested on wrongfully, the government having their hands on you, getting away from that. And it's like with Vought being, his shield for so long, it took him so long to get away from that. And now look what he's turned into. So, Damien, for you, what you think behind this red door, man? Like,
I don't know. I mean, you do get a quick flash scene where you see that they're doing something in that room. There's like red lights on in there. You see Homelander's character screaming.
He's screaming. And
so I don't know exactly. Like, I do think they're just kind of going to show you that like his brain, him getting brought up was not as simple as it for even as invincible as a character as he is. You know, I mean, they did have to see exactly how strong he could be, even as a kid. And this is kind of be something where we might see, like, the development of all his powers and kind of see, like, where that comes from. Maybe see some other silences. Obviously, the only one we ever really saw work on him was Vogelbaum.
Yeah.
So maybe we see, like, what's more going as far as that. I think Homelander's biggest issue with, like, what he's dealing with is that this whole time he wanted to work his way up to the top. He wanted to overcome Madeline Stillwell. And, you know, once she turned on him. And then I was like, okay, well, I want to overcome Stan Edgar. These people were literally making it so that you didn't have to make these decisions. They told you didn't want to be the one to make these decisions. But you are such a narcissist and you love yourself so much you think that, okay, I know what's best because I'm the strongest person that there is. And then once you get put in this position and now you're the most miserable person in the entire show. Literally every scene starts with the same no expression face. They're switching the
1,000-yard stare.
There was a scene on the show where like it keeps flipping from him in different locations, but he got the same face on.
With the court, and he's on a couch, and he's in a meeting.
Yeah, like in the same face, no matter what. And like how Damon said, it is really just the fact that he wants somebody to challenge him. That's why he goes to Sage. Is because like he literally tells Deep to blow A-Train, man.
Yeah,
and Deep got up and was going to do it. And that's the thing. And then like even when he's walking out, he's like you guys are all scared. He's like, I'm surrounded by a bunch of idiots. And even on the way out, Ashley agrees with him after he just said he doesn't want anybody to agree with him like that. Then you go to
I agree.
Yeah, right.
I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah, like come on, like what the hell? And then when he goes to get Sage, and then the thing is though, is when he goes to get Sage, she calls him out immediately. She's like, "You're not going to be happy with a black woman calling you out and saying and being better than you or being smarter than you." She calls him out literally immediately. He's like, "No, I could understand." He's like, "I'm not that petty. I could handle it," and immediately cannot handle it. As soon as she gets in there, even though this character is clearly the smartest one in the show and she knows everything about everything. He cannot handle it. She tells him it'd be dumb to do the sidekick thing with Ryan. What does he do? As soon as Ryan doesn't save, he shows up. When she tells him that it would look better if he just did it himself. He questions everything that she does, even though she clearly has a thing, or she clearly knows every outcome. So I think kind of seeing what's behind this red door is really big for Homelander, but like I wouldn't be surprised if it's like subversion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to make us think that this is going to be some important stuff for Homelander when really it isn't. Because what can they really reveal about his background that we don't already?
Or it could be the dissension and madness.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like the red door is like...
going to beat his... That's the last thing stopping him.
Yeah, like the red door is like... Because that's what the season 3, like the mirror. Like, okay, so obviously when he throws that stone when he argues with Ryan... You see his personality split into 3 different ones. There's like the 4. Yeah, it was like how he was right now. There was the happy one, the angry one, and then there was the one up top that was just like smiling, didn't say a word. And so the one's like, you know, you need to be nicer to Ryan, you need to be a father to him. The other one's like, listen, you're still too human. You need to stop. Like we need to kill that side of you because you're still weak.
Don't need love.
Basically. Yeah. And he's like, you still want them to love you. That's your problem. So honestly, what you said, that probably makes the most sense. Is like, you know, like that's like his last bit of humanity. Is whatever he's got, whatever trauma he's got hidden behind this red door, whatever he went through as a kid. If he accepts that, that unlocks the final form of Homelander, where he doesn't care what people think anymore. Nobody can stop him. So why should he not do what he wants?
You know, Ball.
Yeah.
When did you meet Ball?
I've known her since I was a kid.
Since I was a kid. I wrote this in the notes, but I mean, we'll touch on it briefly. Do you think Ryan will turn on Homelander?
Every sign shows me that he's not going to.
Every sign, I feel there's a lot of signs showing that he is, but he's not going to.
Yeah, like it's gonna be I just don't like. I just think like for as much as like him and Butcher's relationship has been cool, and as much as like him and like Homelander, every single time that somebody brings up him turning on Homelander, he's like, but that's my dad. Every single time, he's like, that's my dad. That's all I got left. Like, and Homelander even made a good point. Like he was like, well, my mom loved Butcher, so I care about Butcher. He's like, yeah, but what about you?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Butcher?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think for the narrative, you can't let Ryan become evil, like Homelander. Yeah. But at the same time, with a show like this, it wouldn't be surprising if he did turn evil.
At least, or I wouldn't even say like just
like
decide with his dad and just
but like, decide with Homelander
and start to finally like try to understand his dad instead of being so like deceptive to it. Like actually be accepting to Homelander, and then eventually he might be the death of Homelander. That's what I'm starting to like lean towards, that Ryan is going to be.
I just can't see him being like a person where he completely leaves Homelander. Like at this point, from what we've seen, like I just don't see it. Like I can't see Butcher being able to turn him back fully against him at this point in time. Like it just doesn't seem to work. Yeah. And I can even see like I said, just what the kind of show this is, where like Ryan could be like the end of Homelander, but I wouldn't be surprised if Butcher had to kill Ryan in the long run.
Maybe.
Like just because of that, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe maybe it turns out that, you know what I'm saying, like he could be the end of Homelander, but he won't make it past that point.
Yeah, but like, say like he can't. But say, like, you still can't trust. Maybe. You still can't trust him, or like I said, you already saw like how I said the CIA looks at Ryan as strictly just a weapon. Yeah. They don't care that he's a kid. Yeah. They just see him as like the anti-Homelander. They think okay, we get him now, we train him now. He's the one that can stop Homelander down the line. Yep. So.
Yep. For you, Damon, do you think Ryan is going to turn on Homelander?
I think Butcher's gonna stop him from doing it. Like I think he's gonna be convinced enough to do it. But Butcher, like the same way he stopped Huey from taking the 10th V, he's like, no, really, you're not strong enough. You ain't old enough to face Homelander. Like he may like probably sacrifice himself or kind of like fuck up Ryan's plan to where it doesn't end up working. And then Homelander finds out that okay, Ryan was gonna do that. He's finally getting challenged, the challenge that he want. And he ends up fucking either killing Butcher or killing somebody on the boys, something of that nature. But I definitely think Ryan's going to start, looking at Homelander differently. And he's going to sympathize more with Butcher because Butcher's dying. And somebody's going to get in the way of that. And he's going to realize, like, I was like, I'm a fucking superhero. Like, I can't really think like
when that finally clicks for him that, like, he is a superhero. But at the same time, like, his perception of a superhero for whatever reason
is trash.
Is shot.
Super skewed.
Yeah. I don't know why he thinks the way he does, being around the people that he was around. You know what I'm saying? And the presentation that is around him, like Vought on TV, like they have these saves or whatnot, and now that you're like around it, you should probably already know that you're not
the
gonna
superheroes
be doing
literally in this
universe
universe are just they're like the superheroes.
Like the one guy said, he's like and they're entertainment. They're not gonna be making no decisions. That's not their job.
That's what Bobby Singer says.
Yeah, he's like that's not your job.
That's why he wants to get all the soups out of military, out of the police and all that.
Yep, that's his plan. I think Victoria Newman's on the same side as that, just trying to get them away.
No, she wants it the other way because like
she wanted to get them away from the spotlight in general. From
talking. I know when she goes into that meeting that like where they're talking about it, she has like the superhero like legislative act or something like that. So maybe that is it.
Yeah, I thought she was like kind of like, all right, they definitely.
Oh no, you're right. The ones that didn't want to do it are the ones that wanted were Sage and Homelander.
Yeah,
they want them to stay in the military and police and all that. She's the one that was like, wait, like you can't be serious.
And real quick, since we're talking about turning, they already planted the seeds of A-Train turning. He already has interaction with the boys on a couple different occasions now.
This is actually like the fourth time he's helped the boys. So
this has been a long time coming.
Because he's the whole reason that Stormfront even got exposed.
Yeah, exactly.
He really gives the files to Huey and Starlight.
How do we feel about A-Train turn on the 7 and? Because we did allude to it, obviously, that it was gonna come no matter what. Like it wasn't like a real like crazy prediction out of nowhere. Like we already knew this was coming. A-Train is already a redeemable character as is. So I really want to get you guys' thoughts, like what's gonna happen if Homelander does catch him, or when that match.
Well, Sage knows, right?
Sage knows.
She knows, and she's manipulating.
Well, she's been manipulating them.
The reason she goes and has sex with the Deep isn't attraction. It's she's trying to mess with the system because she wants to tear down society, right? Yeah. So what better society to tear down to start with the 7 from the inside? That's why she like protests not wanting to be a member of it, but she clearly wants to. This is part of her like plan for anarchy, right? Yeah. So she knows that A-Train did it, and that's why she says it was Deep's fault, and then she can then manipulate Deep. So that's her plan all through all of this, right?
Yeah.
She's already been working the Deep up. She was the one that was like, "Listen, stop letting Ashley talk to you like that.
Yeah.
Like you're stronger than that." I'm not gonna lie, that part with the Deep was fire.
Yeah. And
the Lord of the Seven Seas.
She didn't want to be on TV anyway.
She said she wanted to be from like the sidelines, and Homelander made her go out there and do it. But I wouldn't be surprised. Like they pointed at that at every single turn that Sage. I don't know if she's like omniscient or whatever that word is, where like she just knows everything no matter what.
She's omniscient.
Yeah, like
omni-man efficient.
She literally goes to Firecracker, and the first thing she says, she's like, "Do you believe this stuff, or is it just some kind of personal vendetta?" How did she know that Starlight and Firecracker had a personal vendetta before all that.
Yeah.
That's literally the first thing she says to her when she meets her at the TruthCon.
Mm-hmm. And they went to different places because I think she went with A-Train. A-Train went with some different, what I forgot what it was called, and Starlight went somewhere else. Yeah. That was like the whole thing.
Like I said, like, so like she knows stuff that like, she knows things automatically no matter what. Like, there's just no way you can convince me that she read that in a book somewhere, or that she read that somewhere. Like she knows things that nobody should know. Mm-hmm. So like I said, is that like a power or like?
We're gonna talk about it in a minute because I think I have an interesting take on her character in general.
Okay,
like, but
yeah, because that's but the A-Train thing though, like I don't know where they go with that. Like I can't see him fully flipping though. Like I think him helping makes sense, but I don't know if I could see him fully being a member of the boys because nobody else trusts him but Mother's Milk.
Yeah, but I just think him saving
Huey change it.
Was like how does Homelander not know?
No, yeah, well,
sensing what he already senses as,
and that was the scary thing is that like Homelander literally comes out on top of the damn Vault Coin Arena and like shakes the building with how hard he takes off for his flight. Mm-hmm. He's pissed. Yeah, and the fact that like you didn't hear A-Train show up, you didn't see A-Train show up.
You know what I'm saying?
Like you know what I'm saying?
How could Huey possibly get away besides?
Exactly. So I mean, and I think it'd be an interesting thing just to say like, how fast is Homelander versus A-Train? We haven't seen that. Like obviously that's always been a thing. Like is Superman faster than the Flash?
Yep. Vice
versa here and there. Like now this is this universe's version. Mm-hmm. Do we get a chase scene where you see how fast can these characters really move?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like at a full.
That'd be cool. I feel like if they actually do like some superhero shit for once.
Yeah, so I'm saying to like actually see that. Like okay, like Homelander's the strongest character. He could fly. Well, A-Train's also the fastest man alive. So who is quicker? And we, like I said, we still have never really to this point got a scene with A-Train where he fully pushes his abilities.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like
very short.
It's always like every time. Like literally, I think the most we ever see it is when he kills Blue Hawk.
Yep.
Realistically, that's the most we see of his ability to move quick.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see like when that finds out. Like I would hope they would do it in like a cool way like that. Like don't just kill him in the middle of Vought Tower.
Yeah.
Like like make it exciting. Like make A-Train run and try to fight back at least. Mm-hmm. On some Red Rush shit or something.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was thinking. Like, he should have the best chance. For you, Demau, how do you feel like that interaction will go if/when Homelander realizes what A-Train's done?
I mean, I really like what Dame said. I think that would be a cool ass scene. I probably have a better understanding after this next episode because like he really risked a lot helping Huey right there.
A lot,
and gave them the information. Like,
and he didn't even say anything to Huey after he saved him.
Nope.
Literally just looked at him and ran.
Yep.
Didn't say a word to him.
Yep.
So it's like I don't know if he feels the need. I don't know if it's more of a hatred towards Homelander or it's more like okay, I have to actually save people because of what my brother and what my nephews think of me.
I think that's what it is.
I think so. I was about to say,
I don't think it's a hatred towards Homelander.
I think it's literally I need to prove that I'm a hero.
Yeah, like I genuinely think that's what it is. Like, yeah, I think his brother calling him out in front of his literally the only family members that probably still care about him, like broke A-Train. Yep. He's like, okay, like I can't continue to do this. Like he literally said, like I've never saved a person. Yep. Everything has always been staged with me. Like when do I get to show that I can actually do something good for the world?
Yep, and literally now he has a save on his record, literally by nature.
Mm-hmm. So. And I also think that how he's gonna get caught, I think it's gonna start off with Black Noir, which I don't know who it is. I think Deep is gonna be two with Sage. I think Black Noir is gonna be the one that be like going to Homelander like, yo, A-Train is like not acting the way he should be. Yeah. And, Homelander, he's in his own world. Like Black Noir, shut the fuck up. Like you're not.
Yeah, Nor might just yap it off.
Yeah, he might just yap it off. This
whole time
nobody's taking him serious like at all. So, and then we don't even know like Black Noir was fucking that nigga. Like he was him. We don't know how strong this Black Noir is. So A-Train and him might end up fighting. A-Train might beat his ass or some shit. We don't. I don't know. But I definitely think somebody within Vought or Seven is gonna end up like exposing A-Train for what it is.
Yeah. So with that being said, obviously we got a lot to talk about going forward with Homelander, A-Train, obviously in general. But I think we got to talk about everybody's favorite character. I've seen this everywhere. Everybody loving Sister Sage right now. Well, I just like to call her.
Oh, actually,
Sage,
no. Okay, we're talking about Sister Sage. I can bring this up then.
So, I'm gonna ask you, Damien, because I think we might be on the same wavelength. Do you think Sage is more powerful than they're letting on?
Oh, absolutely. I think she's like Charles Xavier levels of like strong. Like I said, and what I alluded to when I was talking. There's just too much with her going on. She knows too much stuff for her to just be the smartest woman in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she knows information that she just...
So you think she can mind read and stuff?
Yeah, like, there's got to be more to it than that. Like, I don't think it's just as much as, like, oh, she's just smart, she reads a lot.
Yep. And one thing I do want to point out, she was not listening to the same book that she was reading in the first scene that we seen her. So it already shows she can process multiple things at once. She's very observant. So it's like her power... It might not seem like a lot. It might not even be considered a power to anybody else.
Right.
But her ability to read and understand.
I think her being able to figure out that firecracker or whatever her name was a pageant. Like, I'm sure she figured it out.
Yeah.
Like, I think she knows the backstory. Like, I think she asks you to see if you will lie to her. Yeah. Because that's how she reads you. Because she asks people and tries to get them to lie.
See, that's literally the first thing she says to Firecracker. She's literally like, do you believe the stuff that you spew, or is it literally just a personal vendetta against Starlight?
Yeah.
And Firecracker lies. She literally lies to her face, and then we find out later that it's exactly what Sister Sage said. So I definitely think it's, like I said, it's got to be like a mind reading.
I got two things for you, too. Like, so in the last scene there, when we see Grace at when Homelander's having the flashbacks, we see Grace.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, Grace,
so is like what was Grace involved with creating Homelander, right? Like, do we know who? I'm gonna throw something real stupid out here. Who's Homelander's mother, or is he a test tube baby? Like. They say test tube, but they never really elaborate on it. Someone carried the baby, right? Like someone carried the baby.
You just have a male create a whole baby.
So like, could she have carried the baby because she wouldn't trust anybody else to carry? And that's why she likes Ryan, because she wanted to raise Ryan. She let down her son, Homelander.
Not a horror. With her being in the flashback, that's actually
because obviously he's a clone, but he doesn't look like Soldier Boy.
Yeah, he looks nothing like Soldier Boy.
And they just like they wanted that blonde hair, you know,
like the perfect.
So I could see her being like, "I'll just do this shit myself," right?
and Mallory's got blonde hair. And
the only other thing I want to bring up is Zoe is the scariest fucking
Zoe's
I didn't expect that shit. I didn't expect that, and that was scary as fuck. Yeah. That's one of the scariest things we've seen, right?
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect. I didn't expect her to be able to have tentacles coming out of her mouth. Like that was not the superpower I was expecting.
That was crazy because I'm like, all right, she's gonna kill all these motherfuckers.
Yeah, like
the boys are dead. We didn't even see them in the trailer like that, so they're dead. Like I'm like, they're cooked. I thought she was gone. But you were getting into Sage knowing about.
Yeah, like I said, I genuinely do think that, like I said, it's something where it's definitely either some type of mind reading or just some like prior knowing, like no matter what, like because there's just no way, like I know, like for example, when she first meets Homelander, like I guess you could be observant to it, but like her knowing exactly how much he dyes his hair, how much he keeps up with himself now because he knows he's getting older and stuff like that. Like, I mean, there's just too much information that she knows prior to meeting these characters that would make me believe, like, okay, like I don't think she's got a file. You know what I'm saying? With just these people's prior information. Like, she's able to read these people so much to the point where she knows this stuff? No. Like, she just knows. It's definitely got to be some type of mind reading or something like that, and they're just not letting it on yet of how powerful it is. And like, that's why I said, like, the other day when we talked about where I feel like that's why she's pinning everybody against each other. Like, and nobody's going to read that. Because she's clearly the smartest one. Nobody else.
She was doing it so good that I mean, obviously, you could tell she's manipulating, like, obviously, like the lower tier people,
yeah,
like
for
the
sure,
Ashleys and the Deep and whatnot. But I didn't realize it really until she kind of like basically almost like the way she manipulates Deep. It's not just like the fact that she does, the way she did it.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
It's a build from the first moment until their last moment. They're like, she does not give a fuck about the Deep at all. Like, that's literally just her end game. So now that she has like him handcuffed now, like now I like what's like now I got what I need. Like, I really got somebody in my corner now. I'm really starting to push up the ranks. So I really think that the way that she's manipulating them it's not the fact it's the way she's doing it is very, very good. And I think that's like really like a testament to her power that like she can really do anything that she wants to.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, like that's why I say I feel like the sky's the limit for her character. Like,
really, she
could easily be the downfall of civilization. Like,
that's what I'm thinking that she's gonna be huge. I think she's gonna last the rest of the show.
Yeah.
I really do think so.
Round of applause though. 2 scenes, Homelander, no suit. Like, come on, man.
Nah, that ass.
Like, right?
I was like,
I'm like, this motherfucker at her door like a goddamn student.
Man, like Anthony Starr.
I'm here to get tutored.
He looking like Anthony Starr. Like, you know what I mean?
He was dressed exactly like Captain America dresses in Winter Soldier.
Yep.
When they go into hiding
with the hat and all that shit, and the zipper hoodie and whatnot. But for you, Damon, do you think she's more powerful than they're leading on?
I definitely do. Just the fact that like you see it in sometimes like a lot of shows or like a saying like some people are cursed with knowledge. She's easily climbing up in the ranks. Like the 7 has 6 people now.
Yeah. And they
Firecracker.
said the 7th spot is reserved for Ryan. They did say
that's
that.
what I mean. And Firecracker's a member of the 7. Like, come on now. Like, clearly the fact that the people around Homelander are getting weaker and weaker. She's easily climbing up the ranks. Like, I could see her being the right hand man or woman to Homelander by the end of the season. Just because
I think she already is.
Black Noir, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But she's building
but
that
without
perception.
him wanting her to.
It's
almost like she's strong
out of trust.
Yeah, because you gotta think Homelander. You know, he had Black Noir who didn't talk to him or like could
also
communicate.
like pretty mentally slow.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, he had his hitmen like, yo, go kill this, go kill that, go kill this. Sage isn't with the hands. Like, she don't go out there killing people. She's just smart. Like, she can read the room. She understands what's going on.
But I wouldn't even be surprised if she has more abilities though, because they've already kind of let it be known that every person with Compound V is also strong.
Yeah,
and is also quicker than the average person. Like, I would be interested to see if she does have to fight, if she could hold her own.
I think she just literally doesn't want to use her powers.
Yeah, like I'd say.
I think she knows something about the use of your powers and how frequently you use them and what effects it could possibly be. I think that could be
that's something I have to talk about too when we talk later.
Yeah, I think that's very important to her character in general, that she just knows when to do things, how to do things, and the fact that she's been sent on 2 different dummy missions and has prevailed to the point where like nobody like she's in the room when they catch the boys. By the time they flip the camera, she's gone. You can't put my fingerprints on nothing. This is all them. This is all they're doing. You literally cannot pinpoint her anywhere. Like there's no way you can say that Sage has done anything wrong, because her face is not in anything to be wrong at. Like, she started the brawl, which was smart because obviously they wanted to plant the bodies and whatnot. But the way she did it, obviously, like, she just slowly backs out the crowd, admiring her work. Now I'm out the way. And then the same thing where she goes, and I liked how she mentioned, you know, the personal vendetta, or is it just, you know, control or whatnot. And I forgot what word Firecracker uses or whatever her name is, but she said, I give them something.
Hope.
Is it hope?
Or like purpose.
Purpose. Basically, yeah. I was like, that's pretty good, because maybe her power literally is the fact that she can spin narratives and whatnot. Now, that's good for Homelander, obviously. That's what he would want in his corner. Right. And she likes the limelight. She was very accepting. She's waving to the crowd. Sage goes up, hands at her side. Hands like strike a pose.
She does the Charles Xavier.
She does the Charles Xavier, obviously. So obviously they don't know about it in their universe, but we're looking at her like, she don't like the limelight. She's trying to stay away. She's clearly trying to. She don't want her face to be seen. She does not want to be seen.
She literally told Homelander that it's harder to do her job when there's millions of people that know who she is now.
Yep. That's what I like about her. She's powerful in her mind so much that she just knows where to be and how to be, and that's as simple as that. As whatever as it may seem, through these first 3 episodes, nobody's been highlighted more than Sage.
No, yeah, absolutely.
I think she's been the best addition so far. But what's her end game?
I think it's blowing up to 7. I'll be honest. I mean, she's kind of pushing Homelander to be like better than the humans. Like, maybe she has a vendetta against humans. Maybe a human fucked her up or gave her these powers and she didn't want them. But I feel like her end game.
Yeah.
Her end game is probably having Homelander just go over the top and just take over the world, and she don't have to.
I think that's what it is, but I don't think it's just like this. I think it's just like total takeover. I mean, that was like the theme we got in the trailer, was that soups are at a point now. I mean, we haven't heard the line yet, but Homelander says in the trailer, we're not entertainers anymore. We're not celebrities. Like, we're gods. Yep. Like, that's what we're put on this planet for. Like, humans are nothing to us. So I could see that, like I said, she wants a society now where it's ruled by superheroes, where humans are now the minority. And I mean, she said that. I mean, when she meets with Victoria Newman at the Blood on Ice, that's literally what she says. Homelander doesn't speak until the very end.
Oh yeah, that was a very chilling scene, dude. She's like backing her down without pressing her. She's literally standing there.
Tells her, she's like we want soup. We want soups in the military still. We want soup in every town, not city, town, with power over the police. They want soups like in every part of power they could have. Like everything makes sense. Until Homelander speaks at the end and tells us that once Victoria becomes president, she has to reveal herself. And even Sage makes a face like, no, that's a dumb idea.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need the people to know the president's a soup. Yeah. But if the president's going to go out and make these things happen for us, then that's what we care about. And so I think that's what her end game is more so just that this whole time has kind of been like soups versus humans. Like, this whole time has been like that. But now we're really pushing that agenda where it's we're such a stronger race. We're like we're the next evolution.
Yep.
Of the human race. So let's enforce that now while we can.
Yeah.
So I think that's really what her end game is. I don't even think it's a personal vendetta for her or anything like that. I think she wants that power. Yeah. Because she even asks, or even like Homelander even asked like Victoria like the good question where it's like, why do you want to be president? You've given us no reason for why you want the presidency so much.
And she tried to say it's like it was getting an attempt V to her daughter, like it was to protect her.
Yeah, she said it was to protect her daughter.
That can't be your only reason.
Yeah, like you don't become president to protect your one family member.
Yeah, like that's not why you want.
I was like, there's clearly something going on with Victoria too, where she clearly wants the presidency for something more than just what is being let on.
Yeah, and I don't think Homelander trusts her anymore at all.
I don't think any of them trust anybody.
I think at first seemed like it was a common agreement they were going to.
Because that's what they went with last season. Last season it was like okay, like they got common ground. Like she wants to become vice president so she could eventually become the president. Homelander wants this, but then like that first episode kills all that. Where like she's like, listen, I don't want nothing to do with you. You're on trial for murder. Like I don't want.
And that gets cleared up so fast. It's like, well, you aren't on trial for murder no more. So, but I still don't want nothing to do with you.
Like at this point, you're a psychopath. Like we cannot be seen together.
Yep. Yeah, it gets real very fast. But I also like what you said, Damon. I feel like there is a chance that maybe it is against humans because humans like you said, cursed with knowledge. If you got cursed with knowledge and like maybe might be something that you wanted, but that's something that you got. So now you got to use it for good, maybe you got to use it for bad, whatever the case may be. You using it, and you found that's her purpose. Her purpose is to take over the world. I do think she is going to be instrumental, obviously, with taking over the world. But how far is it? It's too far because Homelander is starting to. He wants Victoria. He wants Victoria to reveal herself so bad it's not even funny.
Well, in the comics, like I said, it does happen where Homelander takes over the government himself.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels like this is where the show's going.
Yeah.
Where like they want to do it the sneaky way how Sage is doing it with Victoria just becoming president and then just passing all these laws for helping her become president.
Yep.
But I could see it like how Damon said by the end of the season where Homelander just snaps and takes the government by force.
Yep.
And that's how the season ends, where Homelander's, like I said, how you said, maybe that red door is his final straw.
And that might be where Sage realizes she doesn't have control of her, or maybe Homelander realizes, and then like you said, like she might not make out this season. Maybe he kills her because he realized that she was trying to manipulate him, and that was the last straw. That breaks the camel's back.
Because I feel like that's such a big moment in the comics where I'd be shocked if they didn't try to translate that into the show. I mean, he literally takes all the soups and like by force takes the White House.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like that's something they want to adapt, and I could see where, especially if you're ending on next season, anyways.
Yeah.
You've got to start hitting your big moments now.
I think that big moment won't even come in the finale.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
And I hate to like bounce around, but I know you did see that Sam and Kate were mentioned in the newspaper.
Yeah, in the ticker, at like V52.
So that's gonna happen probably next episode. Yeah. And they're probably gonna have Black Noir fighting Butcher also next episode. You know what I'm saying? They're probably gonna have the Deep interacting with Homelander in a more, like a more aggressive way. Like this all has to happen soon.
Something to speak on with Sister Sage too, real quick. In that last scene, when she starts kissing.
Oh my God! I know you're talking about.
There's the tool.
Blood on
it? But so lobotomy tool.
Yep.
They literally talk about it. New Rockstars talks about it as a lobotomy tool, and in the back, she's reading a book on advanced surgeries.
Yep.
So who the fuck did she lobotomize? Somebody is messed up in the 7 right now that we haven't seen.
Yep.
She got to somebody. We just don't know who yet.
She got to somebody bad, and I don't know who it could possibly be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be revealed soon.
At first, I was like, damn, she killed Ambrosia. Like, no.
No, I was thinking, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like I didn't know until I watched the video.
But then when I saw the new Rockstar thing, they said that it looks exactly like a tool they would have used back in the day for whatever I just said.
Lobotomy.
Yeah, lobotomies.
Lobotomy. But we already touched on it. What should be the reason for Vaught's downfall? I don't think she should be the reason for Vaught's downfall. I think should be the reason for basically Homelander ascension. Vaught's whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
I think at this point Vaught doesn't even matter.
Yeah, Vaught doesn't even matter.
Yeah, like after Stan Edgar got in trouble, it was a wrap for that.
It's just the ascension of Homelander. No, I really do think so. Not to segue too fast into our final segment, but I did want to talk about with the Deep and Ambrosia or Ambrosius or whatever. I think it's Ambrosia or whatever. Do we think that Sage is probably gonna make him get rid of her? I'm pretty sure, like
she has to know
to
that
get rid of
exists.
everything that he finds a weakness in to make him feel strong.
Because I mean, that's clearly like the only thing that's really holding Deep down right now is this relationship with this octopus. Yep. Even though he literally said in the first episode, like, "Did you get rid of the octopus?" He was like, "Yes, I got rid of it."
He's like, "Yeah, it's taken care of." I think he said he didn't say he got rid of it. He said it's taken care of.
So I could definitely see where she used that again. Like that's why initially when I saw that tool before I knew what it was, I was like, "Damn, she killed the octopus." I was like, she stabbed
I didn't know
the
what
fuck
it
out
was. I was thinking all types of things. I'm like, maybe she just forgot to put it away, and it's something that she used before. That's old. Right. You know what I'm saying? But like
the way the show zooms in on it, you're like, damn, that's important.
Yeah, it's very important.
They literally fade. They literally like do the thing where they blur out the background and show the tool. Mm-hmm. So
I try to pay attention to the backgrounds because we got polarity posters. We got the speedy recovery starts here behind Huey and his mother and whatnot. So like paying attention to the background, you get a lot of little clues or like little things that like they're just alluding to, but not really trying to tell you until they get to that point. But we're gonna talk some real quick. I would say smaller storylines, but storylines we don't like put too much into. Is the Butcher actually going to die?
No.
It is the whole Butcher storyline is weird because you got 6 months, but the way they're playing this season, it's like day to day. Like it ain't no long term thing. I think it's only been like 6, maybe a week, 6 days to a week. It ain't been long or nothing. So I don't even think he's been.
I genuinely think the show right now is taking place only like a month after Gen V.
Yeah, so we're in a really slow stage for them. Like it's not like they're segueing through a lot of things. Personally, I don't think he's not gonna die, but I think his last hurrah is gonna actually give him the purpose that he's been looking for. Obviously, like that's his trauma that he's lived for nothing. He's done nothing, and all this stuff that he's trying to protect and help is almost for nothing. He's gonna die with nothing to show for, and that's his biggest fear.
I think it's more of a debate if Victoria Newman gonna survive, because she's kind of like Butcher knows that about the virus, and she's now trying to defend that. She never told Homelander. Homelander's already on shaky grounds. I think that's more of a like, okay, what the fuck is Homelander gonna do when he finds out not only is it a virus, she hid it from him, and Butcher and the boys know. So it's like,
I ain't worried about Victoria Newman. She's strong as fuck.
I was against her. Like, I think she's so strong that she might be threatened. But I don't know who. I don't even think kill her.
I'm saying like Homelander like goes at her like.
Yeah, that's one person that can.
Yeah, I'm not talking about I'm like Homelander.
The boys can't obviously. They can't.
No, but I mean that in both ways though. Like I feel like she feels threatened because of her position. I don't think she feels threatened for her life. I think she feels threatened because she doesn't want to lose her political standing.
Makes sense.
I don't think that she's scared at all of. They've shown everything. So they've shown no weaknesses for her so far. She's not been hurt by anything. Yeah. By anybody.
She can't kill Suits, but it seems like might not be able to kill her.
That's what I'm saying. And like I get Homelander once again as like this strong character, but like we've seen every other Suit at some point take some type of damage. Like Victoria Newman's taking 0 damage, like at all. No markings, no nothing.
Yeah, that whole
like I mean like Kimiko we've seen Black Noir get gutted. We've seen Kimiko get shot in the face, her arm cut off. Like we've seen Homelander with a black eye. Maeve got her eye gouged out. Like every other Suit has taken some type of damage. A-Train got his leg broken. Yeah. And they shot Victoria Newman in the face and then threw acid on her, and she didn't get a single bit of wound, no markings, no nothing. Yeah. I think that's another character where like she's way stronger than what they're
leading on. Yeah, but I like that because, like you said, her position of power gives her that sense of, uncertainty / safeness to her. But I could kind of see where, like, I feel like more or less she could just be threatened by, the fact that they know that she has a daughter, and like that if that's so important, if that's so important to you, then we can target your daughter and get whatever we can strong arm you. Like, but obviously, like we are gonna see Homelander take over the government. That's probably gonna be the final scene that we see, or something that we really feel by Homelander. I don't think it's gonna be the final scene. More or less, I feel like it's gonna be a big thing that it's like, damn, like the effects of this is really gonna.
Because I do think season 5 is gonna come way quicker than what we're expecting. Like, I don't see another 2-year break.
I don't either. I was about to
five.
say,
I think they're like full steam ahead with this. Like, I'm pretty sure they already said they're filming it this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see where we get season 5 pretty quickly. Like, I could see season 4 ending on a pretty big cliffhanger. Yeah. I don't think Butcher dies in this season because I think that it'd be pretty lackluster to not see him and Butcher have like a legitimate fight.
Yeah,
you can't build up this hate relationship, and like I said it like even like where Homelander's like, I'm gonna miss you, Butcher. Like, I mean, like their dynamic is very much reliant on each other. They hate each other so bad. It's very much Batman and Joker.
Yeah,
where the one can't exist without the other.
Yeah.
So I feel like you can't kill Butcher without doing that. I could see Butcher taking the real Compound V and fixing himself. I mean, if it means he has to stop Butcher stop Homelander that way, he's dying from Temp V.
Yeah.
But Compound V might be able to save him. I mean, we don't know. Yeah. I can't see any other way that he could survive what he's going through right now because Temp V was already experimental. Yep. I can't see them just being like with some secret antidote, you know, that Vought had. Like, there's got to be some end game thing where even though he hates Soup so bad, he has to become what he hates.
He has to become what he hates. Yeah.
To do it. And like he realizes that that's going to be his purpose.
That means you're meant to be a real superhero.
Exactly.
Your whole purpose is to be it's almost like, how aren't you a super? How aren't you considered to be like, you're gonna make mistakes? You're still human at the end of the day, just with an enhanced ability.
And you're willing to do whatever you want, or you're willing to do whatever it takes to make sure people are safe.
Exactly.
So that's where I feel like it makes
you got
the most
intention, sense. You just don't got the
abilities. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think he's going. I do think when he does die, he's gonna officially feel like he served his purpose.
No, yeah, absolutely.
And that's gonna be like his big thing. Like, it just him finding his purpose is gonna be one thing. Him fulfilling it, obviously, is a whole nother. How that's gonna play out on screen, who knows? Another funny one, obviously, is who is Black Noir. Now, like you told me, that's the same actor.
Yep.
Had some of the funniest scenes on screen so far.
I heard one context clue. He said he studied at Gotland.
He went to Godolphin. He went to the Crimson Countess school. It was the bad one. It was the school of like arts. So like there was like there's the crime school and the school of arts. He said he did that, and he said he did Cirque du Soleil in Toronto or in Montreal or something like that. So I mean, he's got like the athleticism to be Black Noir. I don't think he's got shit else.
He don't got the presence of Black Noir. He wants to talk. He wants somebody to give him assurance.
That's like the running gag. That's the running gag, and I was already telling him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Well, I think Sage is gonna go after him next because he wants
I was about to say, I want to see Sage and Noir have that.
But I don't know if he's strong enough. I don't know if he's strong enough to like do what she needs.
They just haven't shown it yet. That's what I'm interested. Like, we know he's a Soup, and like I said, we know this Soup's like, but the thing is that Black Noir was actually trained to do the things Black Noir does. Like, that was like his whole thing. Like, just because you went to this thing and you were like athletic and all that,
you're like the stunt double.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think that's literally his job, is to be the stunt double, not to fail successfully. Like, I'm the guy that's in a position, like, all right, like if Black Noir's in a movie, I'll be the guy that takes the fall. I'll be the guy that's in the fight. I'll be the guy that, you know what I'm saying, does all the press stuff.
Exactly.
While Black Noir actually just sits there and does absolutely nothing. So I think that's literally his whole thing, is that he's a stunt double, and we'll see how that turns out for him, because he likes to talk. So
he's literally like his understudy. The whole time he's like, I got a playlist to get in Black Noir's.
Dude, he was like, he said they're not giving me the right material on his character.
Yeah,
like, yo, he's so worried about.
He's like, how do I get inside Black Noir's head? Like, bro, he's dead. I don't know.
I think his whole thing is literally he is a stunt double, and like he doesn't know what to do because they're not telling him what to do. They think he's naturally going to do it because he was trained to be like Black Noir. He's not. He's like, not Black Noir, so he doesn't know.
Just walk around and don't talk.
He was emoing crazy on the stage. I'm like,
that's Demond Crandon. Like,
relax, son.
Text you like, yo, you in that suit, bro?
The HA was like, tone it down, and Homelander started giving him the death stare.
He's like, tone it down a little bit. He's like, let me just stand here, puff my chest out. I think his stuff is just so funny every time he's on screen.
Bro, when they killed the 3 Homelander fans, he was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
He's like, "What the fuck was that?"
I was like, that didn't sound like nobody else. Like, that Black Noir, bro. Like, I had to rewind the scene. That was sure as hell was Black Noir.
Yo, that shit actually had me in tears. Every time he's on screen,
I thought for sure nobody knew that Black Noir had been killed until that.
Yeah.
Bro, like, then he started talking. I was like, oh, they know.
Yeah, they know. Oh, they know. And I think that's the good thing, is that they do know. And the fact that they're acting like they don't is going to be, pretty interesting. I mean, obviously, Sage and his interaction is going to be pretty impactful, I feel like, for the rest of the season. Another question: is Frenchie going to be a problem? Because this is a guy who was a recovering addict. I'm pretty sure recovering addict.
He's been a drug addict this whole time. It feels like.
You know what I'm saying? He said therapy was working. Yeah. It was working. Ends up taking all these pills. Has hallucination. Obviously sees the demons of his past. Obviously you don't want that to be the downfall of Frenchie, is that he can't get over his past, but it's clearly affecting him. I mean,
if he had took those drugs and went with anybody else but Kimiko, that mission would have went a lot worse. Yeah, because he was literally no help. He would have died whatsoever. Right then and there. He was tripping. So he was tripping bad. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously Kimiko was able to handle it on her own because she's a suit. But if it was like him and Mother's Milk that went out there and he was tripping balls, like I'd hate to see that. Like he's the reason for one of the boys dying because he can't deal with his own personal stuff, you know what I'm saying? Which goes back to what we said with the theme of the show was.
She be getting fucked up. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, dude.
She be getting fucked up.
She be going through it. I'll tell you that much. She be going through it. She be going through it. That whole fall from the building was a lot. I really thought
that scene was funny as hell though, bro. Her little ass arm. Oh, Starlight couldn't grab it.
Remind me of Deadpool.
Yeah, that literally it was really like Deadpool when he fucking cut his hand off.
Yeah, it's like fucking punch. Yeah, he had to fucking cut his hand like it was like broken and shit. But I don't think he's gonna be more so a problem for the boys. I think it's just him, just literally just telling him that I killed your family. Like it's as unfortunate it is how Colin reacts. Whole different thing.
I don't even think that him and Colin's thing is like full on like real, to be honest. Like I don't even feel like he cares. I genuinely feel like he's only with Colin because he knows what he did to his
out of guilt. I was about to say he's with him out of guilt.
I do think he still loves Kimiko, and I think Kimiko's in love with Frenchie, and she's playing that shit off. Like I think
she's trying so hard.
Yeah,
and
like
it's fucking with her bad.
Yeah, like I don't think that like she when she was like she lied and said she slept with the dude at the Jitter Bean and all that. Like you did not sleep with nobody.
Man, no, you don't leave my side. Right. It's like we don't have to. We all because we attached to the hip, and literally are. Yeah. When we see Frenchie, we see Kimiko.
Like, I genuinely do think they still end up together. Like I think, like I said, the whole Colin thing is just because, like I said, he knows what he did to his family, and it's just out of guilt. And like I said, like Cherie even said, she's like, you have a thing for taking in strays, like you like that's your thing. She's like, when are you gonna stop doing that? Like like you're it's literally eating you up inside for what you're doing, and you just can't help yourself.
Yep. I think Frenchie's dynamic, in general, is very good. I think his story is very fun for a character that. It's a lot of people's favorites. People love Frenchie, and I think that the fact he's getting all these moments in general is very, very good for the show. Like you know what I'm saying, we don't highlight the humans a lot, but with this whole superhero takeover, you know what I'm saying, the soup's taking over. It's gonna be instrumental to at least get a little bit of backstory for the humans that we do see on screen.
Oh yeah.
Now we talked about it, and I'll let you lead off. Any theories that we got going into the rest of season 4, even just episode 4 in general?
I don't know maybe so much the next episode, but I know the one we talked about is Huey's mom even real? Yeah. There is a lot of basis for why I don't think she's real. There's only one moment where I feel like they kind of shoot that idea down. But the reason I think it is true is his mom pops up out of nowhere after all these years. I get his dad's sick and all that, but they never really let you know that his dad and his mom are still in contact. Yeah, that's never really given that information. And then for his dad to also, for as much he cares about Huey, to give his mom all the power to decide his medical stuff if anything happened to him, kind of doesn't seem like that would be a thing. The main reason I think it is true is because of what Butcher's going through.
Yeah, that's literally what I was saying. The hallucinations.
Butcher, from the very first episode, even though we don't see it right away, is clearly talking to somebody off screen the entire time. He's clearly seeing things, and he's talking to somebody that we don't see. Obviously, we end up seeing that it's Becca. Yep. And that's who he's talking to every single time that he doesn't say something to the characters. It looks like he's talking to himself. But if you guys didn't notice, Huey also is seen doing that. Could he be talking to himself? Sure. But he's also talking. They do catch a Starlight catch him talking to himself. He's talking to himself in the office with Mother's Milk and them. There's been multiple times now where he's done it. Yeah. And he did take the 10V. I get he didn't take like the lethal dose. Yeah. He stopped, but there still are side effects.
Yeah, you get side effects, and he got one step before death. Yeah, which was obviously the hallucinations as a part
of it. That's generally why I think that she is not real. And another reason is, when she sits down and talks to Huey about why she left, she said she swallowed 40
40. Oh my God! I'm like, damn,
like,
they couldn't even. You couldn't even play around with the imagination that she wasn't alive.
I was like, damn. I was like, there's no way you swallowed 40.
I thought
Ambien.
I was eating with that theory at first, and then she said 40. I'm like shit.
40 Ambien. I'm like, God damn. I was like, there's no way you survived that. Right? I know she said she threw them up, but I don't know, man. Like, I do genuinely think that she's not realized. The only part that really made me feel like that theory doesn't make sense is when he brings the papers to the dude at the Starlight House. He's like, well, how do I take my mom to court to make these decisions for my dad? But could Huey just, in his, like I said, his hallucination, his mind kind of falling apart, could he just drew that shit up himself?
Thinking that he did that?
Yeah, like really thinking that was a thing, and this whole time, like, you know, like that's the only thing that happened where I felt like it couldn't be possible. But I feel like there's been way more details to show that she isn't real, and the fact that she just so happens to work for Vought, which is his number one enemy.
It's the way she works for Vought. She works for him like in the Mary Kay, Amway.
Yeah, like the herbal essences and shit like that.
The mid-level marketing kind of thing. So, the way I look at that, and I agree with you. I don't think she's real, and I think your reasoning for why she could be real is okay, but there's nobody that can confirm that she is the one that's in charge. Yeah, that could literally be a play on his mind that, like, him and his dad's relationship was always not great. And from the moment that his girlfriend died to, you know, see like his dad's relationship is not the greatest. So obviously he could think that, damn, like maybe my dad don't trust me with a decision like this. He's always been, you know what I'm saying, he's always been looking at me as like a baby almost, and like not treating me like an adult. But when you're all he has, that's how he's going to protect you as needed. So I do think that
also nobody else acknowledges her ever.
Nobody acknowledges, and when the nurse walks by, obviously she doesn't look at Huey no way, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's just an extra, just somebody, you know, to make it still feel like a hospital and whatnot. I do think this is going to be the hardest pill to swallow out of all the past traumas, because if his mom isn't real and he's felt like he has been talking to her and he has been fixing his relationship with her,
then it hits him
that she's not, and it's like you can't take that back. You can't get that conversation, like the conversation that you made up in your head. So I don't think she's real. All I think is very very interesting that they did this, and the way they're doing it is that nobody has yet to come to the hospital with Huey.
Yeah, Starlight was there, but she wasn't there when it happened.
Ever since his mom started popping up, and nobody, and the easiest way to probably go about this is him just searching his mother's name up and finding out if she's passed away or not. Is he gonna do that? Is that probably gonna happen? No, I don't know who's gonna break the news to him that his mom is not alive. Maybe Sage does. Maybe she just fucking knows. Who knows? Obviously, there's a lot of interactions that need to happen between a lot of characters still that we still haven't seen. But I think I would say it's almost written like for sure that she is not real. For sure. I'm not sure how he's gonna deal with that. I'm not sure he's gonna manage that.
I mean, if we're wrong, we're wrong. I just feel
like it's a theory. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a good theory. I think it's good with like putting some stock into it. I won't guarantee it, but I'll say I'm like 85% sure she's not real. I'd agree. But I love when shows and movies do this, when they have interactions with a certain character that might not be real, and then when they're talking to them, you just find different little details. It was a movie I watched it was called Lila and Eve. It has Jennifer Lopez and Viola Davis in it, and the way they did it was every time she was around Jennifer Lopez's character, you didn't see no shadows. When she took pictures with no shadows, she was out, she was dancing. Everybody thinks she's just crazy because she lost her son. Right. Then you get the real play off that, like, I've been waiting for Eve. I'm waiting for Eve. And like, who is Eve? And she showed a picture of her, and she go through all her pictures, and there's nobody in the picture with her. So when that moment happens, maybe a nurse probably finds talking to himself. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, like just little clues in the future. I think it's a bigger storyline they're letting on, and that I think they even mentioned on New Rockstars that Huey could end up giving his dad the compound V to heal him, or
I know that's what they said in the New Rockstars episode where they said that,
and maybe that's his mom working for Vought, kind of alluding to that, and that might fuck with his brain. That might be something that is inside his brain and not something that he actually makes with a conscious.
It's unfortunate that he was a dumb enough character that he would do some shit like that.
Exactly, and that's something that Huey would do. Like, yeah, absolutely something Huey would do. Unfortunately, but Damon, for you, any theories that you got going into next episode, or if not the full season?
I actually agree with, like, now that y'all saying that, I don't think she's real either. Like,
It's almost. I feel like it's
and
almost
then the conversation she was having, like basically, I tried reaching out a few times, and then I just gave up.
Like what?
If
not a
you
real
found out your son,
it's funny because I never thought about that theory at all that you guys just said that,
Mm-hmm.
and then so I'm thinking like now I'm gonna go back and watch and see what she's wearing. She wearing the same clothes in every scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's
Same
wearing the same
sweater and
clothes. I
jeans.
think she always has a sweater over her arm and whatnot. But I want to look like,
Because he could literally have just
No.
gone and found the papers at the house.
yeah,
Like it doesn't, I mean, like he went and got them. So maybe the father had given,
Right.
at some point. But I do think there's something weird about the fact that she works for Vought. That maybe,
yeah, like,
maybe she's not
you
really the
found out-
mom. Maybe she's a plant
Yeah.
because they're
how
trying
would he
to.
know? He was what? That was 10.
Like,
He was 6 when he left. So.
If you work for
15
Vought
years
and you find out your son was suing them because they killed his girlfriend, ain't you gonna like step in that situation like
Immediately,
you're not gonna,
like, you took.
This could all be again another manipulation by Newman or Sage. Like this could be just another long game, and it's a weird thing too. Like how come Newman? Because Newman and Sage had a scene together, so I'm wondering like, is there something going on with that too? Like there's just too
I
much.
think Newman is like very delusional too, because every time she interacts with Huey, she's like kind of like embracing him with grace, and like she's like really like cool with him, and she didn't take no offense to him trying to like hurt her, and it's like
I think it was
because she's scared. She's scared that they're gonna expose who she is.
yeah, that makes
But
sense.
I think she genuinely cared for Huey too, though. I mean, like there was a lot of time skipping in between those couple of seasons. Like her and Huey were literally working hand in hand.
They were. But the
I-
way it happened is like, for us as viewers, we seen them start working. The handshake, the agreement.
And then
Then she blows the dude's head off. It's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? And then like, obviously we like now that they know what they know. I don't know if Huey embraced her I feel like if Huey don't embrace her the same way that he would expect, obviously by throwing the water or whatever.
No, yeah,
this shit.
I think she still. I think she still cares for Huey as a friend. But I think that because she still trusts Huey. I think. But I think that Huey just lost all his trust in her when he found out she was a suit.
yeah.
because
That's just what it was. She lied to him this whole
Yeah.
time.
Could they be trying to manipulate Huey to go to Vought to save his father?
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe
So they caused the heart attack or whatever, the stroke
That
on
stress that he got
purpose,
going on.
so they could manipulate him to try to get him to betray the boys or
Motherfuckers
whatever.
might be
Because they play the long game really well in this show with lots
Manually
of good
put his
stuff.
mind in a coma.
Because when Homelander went after
Sage like, all right,
when Homelander went after Huey, she kind of told him like to stop. Like even though he eavesdropped and like basically heard everything they were talking about, she like, yo, relax. Like he's got all this information on me. I don't like.
Like, yeah, like
chill,
she's like, yo, like, all right, yeah, chill out. And then he like, no,
Like,
that's
fuck
good.
that. Like-
So-
he needs to expose you.
So the one thing I saw about the Sage lobotomy thing is that, like, it's almost like self manipulation. Like how people are cutters. Like
that she could be fucking with her own brain.
she fucks with her own brain, like as a way of dealing with like how much she knows. So that would be a weird commentary on that she self manipulates, and that's
Maybe
like
she
when
can't
she
handle
see
all that
like because
knowledge.
why would she be watching Transformers 2? Like why would she be sitting there watching like the most mindless thing that you could think of on TV? Because she's watching like what Bride Show or something.
Yeah.
Like, and all she does in her apartment is read, and she didn't even look like she had a TV. So like, is there some weird thing that she does like?
To kind of like calm her mind down.
Like
so
like
she could just do that.
yeah, like
So
that's
it's
why.
not processing. So I just
Which is because I saw that lobotomized too, and I'm like, does she lobotomize herself like self manipulation?
I
I
never
thought
That's actually
I was
interesting.
like, I said, who could she be lobotomized? Like, I don't know if it's somebody, if it's somebody in like inside of the Seven, or you know what I'm saying, or a character that we see on screen, then all right, I don't know what she'll be doing that for. Like, what would
Right.
you be lobotomizing somebody else for? But
Like, because you can't recover from lobotomy. Like, you're
that's
just
it.
that's it. So, but she could because her brain heals so fast. Like, she's got that healing part because they all seem to have that regeneration of some sort. So, like, she does it as it's almost like it's an addiction for her, and that's why she's like real simplistic, almost like she's just sitting there eating a blooming onion from whatever
Outback, yeah.
from Outback, like, and then she's just like looking, she's just kind of, and then it's her way of like coming down, like her way of relaxing because her brain is always, and I do think there's something when she was, I think when she does the Dr. Xavier thing, I think there's something like, because of the way her brain works, she can't handle big crowds.
yeah, it's just, she has to. She likes to.
It's too
process
much to
everything.
process.
So if you,
She needs to be
You might
isolated.
see somebody like reach down here. Oh, he's trying to pull a gun.
So this was
He's
like
over
a
here
try to
doing that.
control her brain kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
she
that's
might
what
need a
I'm
lot.
wondering. Like that, I think like there's a lot going on with her too. That you know, like she's got a lot of her demons and shit too. So I don't know,
Might just
but
be
it's a
on the
smart. It's a great character. Like
Yeah.
every time you
She's
think
well
they,
written.
yeah, like well acted too.
And I think we talked about it. The self-taught thing is very important to her. Her everything is for herself. So if it's self-manipulation, then literally everything that she is doing is involving herself. It's not nobody else. It's literally her own selfish reasons. She's self-taught. She's, you know what I'm saying, she's smart. So all her learning came from herself. Like Absolutely. Literally. So I would know how much damage I could do to myself to either ease the pain or create pain or create like or take away a little bit of memory to gain that, to gain something else. Like I can get rid of Transformer 2 in my head to add in somebody else. Somebody else's, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever. Like Transformer 2 is still like a random ass movie to take out and watch with everything that was going on, and didn't think she would go that way. But that was pretty interesting, the self manipulation thing, because who else would she possibly need to do that?
I never would even thought about that.
Like why would she need to do it on anybody else? I wouldn't see her just randomly doing that shit on the deep either or something. Yeah. I mean, we did get introduced to it with Marie, though, like her having to cut herself to use her power. She didn't know how to control it.
I mean, I love what this show does to commentary on society on so many different ways.
Right.
And why not talk about like
something like self-harm?
Yeah. I think that's a pretty good analogy in general, just to compare it to the fact that she might need to ease the pain. There's so much to process in general, and all the stuff that she's seen 15 minutes prior or hour before she even had that blooming onion. She just watched a whole Vaught on Ice thing, a whole massacre. She's seen a whole massacre, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's not what she wanted in that. Like, she didn't want Homelander to just start killing and, you know what I'm saying, go on this rampage, but that's what he did, and there was no way she can't just grab, like, yo, stop. Like,
technically, if we're being honest, Mother's Milk is the reason those people died.
Yeah, Mother's Milk is the reason people died, but Homelander.
But he also saved Huey though.
Yeah, he did save Huey. So I mean, it was a crazy scene. There was a lot for her to process.
Cartoonish ass
That's
scene.
a testament to his leadership, though. Like, you know, Homelander has an enhanced sense and like hearing and all that shit. Mm-hmm. Sending somebody in a room with him and not expecting Huey to get caught is crazy. Granted, I think Huey went rogue on the mission. Like,
I think he just came there.
They showed up early. They showed up too early. That's what it was.
It was like 15 minutes earlier.
I think Huey was supposed to plant something and leave, and he stayed there.
They showed up early.
They showed up early. I think they said they showed up like 15 minutes early.
Yeah, like they said we have to move faster because Newman got here way too early.
So he's like Newman's here, and it was like
that's why he was above the vent.
He seen Homelander, and he looked away because he's like, fuck, like the meeting's about to happen because they're in the room already.
Yeah,
Newman's getting to the room. She's like talking to other people involved on ice.
They showed up way too early. But that's like the second time now where Mother's Milk got information and got that shit wrong.
Mm-hmm. I thought Huey was supposed to plant something and leave. Like,
yeah, he was,
but he couldn't. You can't drop the thing in it because Homelander's gonna sense it.
Yeah,
and that's literally how he gets caught. He gets caught because the fucking
sweating and shit.
Yeah. He probably would have should have.
He tried to move out of the vent, but it started making all that noise.
It started creaking, so I was like,
yeah,
fuck,
so it was like he literally had nowhere to go.
And he said it was hot already. So
yeah,
why would it be hot? Vault on ice. I don't know. You in a vent probably should be.
Vents are probably just warm no matter what.
should be like a cool 65 in that vent, but it is pretty tight in there. So
probably just along with like the nerves and shit.
Nervous.
Yeah, nervous. Oh, he probably nervous. Yeah, it is true.
Don't want to get caught.
Any other theories y'all got for? I mean, we talked about it a little bit. I would say we might get a little bit more information about Starlight's past and how she handled people, because that seems like that's not her first instance of doing something to maintain her status. And the fact that she was like, well, I don't talk to fat sluts. That was a very, very like fucked up thing to say. So I feel like she's done a lot more than just, oh, like she sleeps around and you're fat. Nah, she probably done way more bad stuff, and like this whole perception of her is probably gonna.
And also
change.
her blaming her mom for it is pretty funny too. Where she's like, my mom told me to be ruthless. Like, that's not an excuse.
My mom told me to be ruthless, like with tears in her eyes. Fuck you, your mom. Mainly fuck your mom, but fuck you too, because like, why did you?
I get you were a kid, so you would listen to your mom, but at the end of the day, like, you still got to know it's not okay to say certain shit. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I don't care, man. I love Firecracker's character. I think she's my favorite character.
You can fix her.
Yeah.
Like, she only doing this for purpose. She's not getting on purpose. I get it though. I mean, I do think they're gonna reveal a lot about Starlight to make almost seem like there's nobody in the politics that is good.
Yeah.
That's as simple as it sounds. You might. I
could definitely see them like. Perfect, well, that's the way Sadie even says it though. They're like, why would you like recruit that hillbilly? And she literally says she she could do what anybody else here can. Mm-hmm. And that's destroy Starlight.
Yep.
So
she her and she controls narratives. So like New Rockstar talked about like how the moment the fight was over, she started recording, so they can only hear her point of view.
Exactly.
So now automatically it puts doubt in people's mind about Starlight, or
and the fact that she had a chance to expose Mother Milk and Frenchie, and she turned it on that Jew.
Yeah, like
That's crazy.
She just literally wants to promote her vision.
Ideals. Yeah.
That's all it is, and that's what she does.
So funny, man.
And I think that's the most important part of her character, that she can push agendas. So I think that matters most to them.
And that's also a testament to like, because I remember the first few seasons, Homelander's goal was to get the strongest team. These motherfuckers is weak outside of Homelander. Like you got A-Train that's kind of on the fence, but Firecracker, like if some shit really popped off, I don't know who's gonna be able to defend themselves. Like,
yeah, it would be interesting.
Like if Ryan joined the 7 right now, he'd be the second strongest motherfucker there. Instantly, like, half his power right there. Like,
but I think the coolest thing about the Sage recruiting Firecracker is that I think she wanted her to lie, to prove the point that she could push her agenda.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think that like she tested her to see if she'd lie, and she still lied about her feelings. That's literally why. Like I was like, why did she pick her for the 7? She just lied to her.
And they still let Firecracker into the 7, even though they said that they'd only let her in if they killed the boys. So
literally, I'm like that. Well, it makes sense. She has to push her, like her only job there. Like I think they're job specific now. It's like you said, like they're not gonna be strong, but their purpose is gonna be fulfilled way better. Like obviously you don't need a Queen Maeve. Why would we need a Queen Maeve right now? We need somebody that's fucking smart. We need somebody that's gonna do the things that we can't, that Homelander can't do. He's too noticeable. He wants to wear the suit. He wants the admiration. He wants all the lights on him. He wants the spotlight. So Sage not wanting the spotlight, wanting to be in the background, not wanting to be seen, is perfect because that's the whole point of the 7 is to be in the spotlight. Same thing with like her pushing her agenda. We don't need you to start lighting people up with some fucking fireworks and shit. We need you to push the agenda that like Starlight's bad, and we need you to find all the dirt or know all the dirt on her. Like her purpose is gonna be served.
Tear her down.
Just doing what she has to do. Now Black Noir, Deep, you know what I'm saying, A-Train, I don't know, they got their own thing going on. They're gonna be probably intertwined throughout the rest of the season. Ironically, just being like that funny trio that kind of lost themselves in this whole new 7 because
technically it's only the 6.
Yeah, with Ryan's spot being reserved, I think that's very important going forward for sure, that they reserved his spot in the 7. Before he even got a chance to even know about it, they literally said it's reserved for him. So I think there's a lot of cool small storylines obviously going on, but they're hitting the nail on the head with this past trauma and closure and how they're going to recover from that. Yeah, I think that's very good.
I was happy with the first 3 episodes. I know it wasn't everybody's favorite. I know it's a lot of mixed reviews right now, but
I thought they killed it.
I enjoyed it.
Episode 3, I thought they fucking killed it. Yeah. I thought it was very good. I didn't think episode 2 was all that, but getting introduced to Sage was like the turning point. I think
episode 2 was probably the most exposition based as far as like trying to explain and expand the world.
Yeah,
but I think like everybody's problem is that like they're so used to, they want action so quickly. They don't want to let a story develop. But it's like the show's coming to an end anyways. There's gonna be a lot of action ahead. We're fine. Yeah, we're we're all steam ahead. Like this is we're about to get a lot crazier, especially with Homelander having the feelings that he did at the end of episode 3. Sage and the Deep interacting, and obviously if Homelander did sense A-Train, if he did, then we got a whole bigger problem on our hands than just how he feels about Ryan and his past. He might have to go at A-Train before he goes after the boys again, or the government. That might be a big thing for him before anything else happens. Anything else I got to add?
No, not really. It was something I brought up in the video on TikTok. I'm trying to think of it.
How you under the suit?
Oh yeah, we briefly talked about it.
No, how you under the suit?
No, I'm not. I can't be. Okay. No, I can't be. Because if I'd hit that motherfucker with that, what did he hit him with a bat? If I'd have hit him with that bat, he would still been alive. Like
the bat would have broke.
You know what I mean? The bat would have broke. Like, you know what I mean? Kimiko storyline, we mentioned it could be her girlfriend or her sister. Because I know she had a brother in season 1, I think.
Yeah, she did. His brother in season 2. He got killed by Stormfront.
So, I don't know how big that storyline would be.
Shit, the way that we're talking about, like I said, with the past trauma, I mean, it's probably gonna be huge. That's gonna be her whole thing.
Yeah,
it's just like her, kind of figuring out what that terrorist organization and what their whole point was, and stuff like that.
She spoke though, right? The girl that they was chasing her.
Yeah, she said Kimiko. Yeah. Well, they said that Kimiko's whole mute thing is trauma based. Yeah. That's what the girl's trying to say. So I wouldn't even be surprised if like at some point we hear Kimiko talk. Yeah. That's really what the therapist said. They said that her whole thing is like because she won't accept her trauma. That's why they called it something. There was a word that they used for why she can't speak. It was something mutism. Yeah.
That'd be fire though if she spoke.
Yeah, I think she will eventually speak, and it'll probably be too Frenchy first. Out of all people. I like everything they got going on though. I really do. I think they're killing it. They're gonna keep killing it, and I don't see any reason why we won't enjoy the finale. I don't see any reason why we get a 2-year break either. Like you said, I don't think we're gonna get.
Yeah, I don't think it goes another 2 years. I think
they kill it for 2025. The end of 20. I think they might kill it for the end of 2025. Hopefully.
Amazon Prime could take over. I mean, they already like, you know what I mean? But
they keep announcing shit too.
They got mad. They just added mad movies and shit like to their platform. So.
They're just killing it, dude. They just. I love what they're doing. I don't like the 3 a.m. drop, obviously. I mean, it is what it is, though. I can't be too mad about it because you know what I'm saying. Like it almost helps us watch it no matter what before we record. But
think about this dream though, right? I had a dream. Like now, on my Little King shit, I had a dream, right? Gen V, season 2, 2025. Invincible, season 3, 2025. The Boys, season 5, 2025. Greatest year ever. GTA 6, 2025. Like, come on,
2025 should be a great year.
Yo, that's come on, that's the greatest year of all time.
It should be a great year. It will be a great year. Hopefully,
like, think about it, bro. That'd be crazy.
I agree, though. I think it would be a great year, to be honest.
I mean, like, why do I have Disney Plus still?
Like, why do I fucking have Disney
like
Plus?
Netflix? What do I have that for?
I know what I got it for. I ain't gonna get into it. Me and Dan gonna get into it one day, but not today though. Last but not least, I thought we were gonna be announcing the winner of the NBA playoff bracket challenge, but unfortunately, the Mavs won last night.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Just want to get that shit over with. They just extend the series for no damn reason.
They're gonna lose at home. Boston gonna get lit.
Yeah,
Jason Tatum got the Finals MVP now. Like
he recreating the Kobe picture.
Like, damn.
Can't wait.
Al Horford's gonna be an NBA champion.
Yo, it's gonna be a lot of narrative spinning around. Did you see that one TikTok? It's like I said, bitch, let's go. And it's like Tatum sit with Jaylen Brown's Finals MVP. It's like, I should be crying.
They saying, hold on, I am seeing some rumblings like if the Celtics win, could Al Horford and Drew Holiday be all Hall of Famers?
I think Drew Holiday would definitely be a Hall of Famer. Al Horford, for longevity wise, could be considered. When he make it,
Hall of Fame.
If it's basketball Hall of Fame, I would say actually yes. This is just the basketball Hall of Fame. Then he probably should.
Drew Holiday got what? He gonna have 2 gold medals after this summer, 2 championships, about 3 defensive teams, 2 All-Stars. I mean, that's solid, I guess. You know, I would put him in the Hall of Fame. That's my man's, but that's just me.
You don't want to be biased, but
you know what I mean?
I think it's a good selection for both of them. Really, if it's just basketball Hall of Fame,
Horford
had all those colleges like accolades, you know.
Yeah, it'd be one of those years just like we already put LeBron in there and Melo and KD all there. Like fuck it, I'll do Holiday in there at the end. Start like the Hall of Fame ceremony started at 3:00 at 2:30. Drew Holiday getting inducted. Like, he the pre-show. Yeah, he the pre-show of the Hall of Fame.
WWE like, pre-show, bro.
Like, you know what I mean? But that'd be cool.
But thank you guys for joining us. For this special that we had going on for y'all. It was very fun. Yeah,
and on a Saturday, like y'all don't want to speak on that. Like we dedicated, we here.
Yeah, we here.
How do we get here?
We're here. We're here.
It's gonna be fun. This season's gonna be really, really good. Hope you guys did enjoy this episode. And we'll see you guys next week. I had to end the draft mid episode, so Mike didn't